everybody, welcome to Maximum Libertarian. I'm Brian.
This is Dean.
And if you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and what should they do?
Smash that mother like button, man. Smash that button.
Correct. Click the like button, share the video. We would appreciate it. Also, follow us on Twitter at We Are Max Lib. What's that?
We Are Max Lib. You can see it right at the bottom of the screen.
Right. So, yeah, I just clicked the thing. How you been doing, Dean?
I've been doing all right. Gotta love good old governor. We're going to talk about that today. But as I said before, what was going to happen? And lo and behold, it happened. And other than that, I've been doing good. I've been a lot of hours out in Smith Mountain Lake, believe it or not, with the fire department. Just so much flooding in the lake from all that heavy rain. It's just been crazy. So that's why we didn't have the last end of the week. Kind of got crazy with not having our podcast with both of us on here, is because I was out well over 38 hours in 2 days picking boats up out of the water. So
right,
it's been long.
Pull up the first one I want to speak about.
Which one?
Dr. Fauci. Let's
Fauci?
start with him. Yes.
All right. You can get Fauci up there. Give me 1 second. Dr. Fauci.
I mean, I had some good news this week. Well, maybe it wasn't me, but my mom she was COVID positive. Well, now she's COVID negative.
Oh, praise the Lord. That is great news.
Yeah, that's good. Even though the CDC was talking about her automatically already being
but that's good news.
She wasn't spreading it. Yeah, so now she's able to go elsewhere and go, but she's now negative. So that's good.
That's good. That's great news.
All right.
We got over it. Everybody's gotten over it that I know of that's had it, and other than your with your dad's situation, but God bless it. I'm happy for your mom.
Yeah, I am too. I'm real happy. All right, let's pull it up. All right, first thing we're going to discuss about is, I heard this earlier today. Dr. Fauci, he says the U.S. is independent and we should just do what we're told. He said he was talking with his UK colleagues. This comes from CNBC.com. He was talking with his UK colleagues and saying that the UK is similar to where we are now because of our countries with the independent spirit. He said on stage, I can understand that, but now is the time we do what we're told. What do you think about that, Mr. Davison?
Brian, it puts the lotion on. It does what it's told. No, it puts the mask on the face, or we go back to phase one. That's exactly what it is, and we'll talk about that when we pull up King Northam. But yeah, I think, believe it or not, I think Fauci is actually trying to stop the spread of this until the vaccine's out. But you can't just go and tell people what they have to do. There has to be a two-way street, right? You don't want to have people telling you what to do, but at the same time, you need to be personally responsible. And if you go into a place of people's employment, go into a restaurant, you go into a store, it's not going to hurt you to put a mask on your face for less than an hour. The employees have to wear them all day, and beyond that, I mean, it's not going to hurt somebody to put that on. I've seen little kids, 3-4-year-old kids, with the mask on their face, and they do a better job than some of the people that are just out there just because it's a political statement to them. It's not a political statement. It's a public health situation, and the way we stop the government from restricting us is to actually stop the spread. Because if you stop the spread of this virus, if you wore a mask in those situations where you
Dean seems to.
What's that? You there, Brian? I don't know if he's there. I'm still counting. You there, Ryan?
I'm back. So go ahead.
What I'm saying is, if we were more personal, responsible ourselves, and it would probably lessen the spread, which would lessen the government wanting to put restrictions on us. But at the same time, the government is always power hungry to put to have control over people. So it's one of those things that you're damned if you do it and damned if you don't. Really.
Well, I think it's a control thing, and I don't agree with this. I don't agree with his statement. I think statements like that turn it into a political thing. I
Oh,
think
I
this
agree.
is more. This is a ton of control. Um, I don't.
Yep, they are.
I feel believe. I mean, I highly believe that if Joe Biden pulls it off and he's still president elect, if or I guess if Donald Trump pulls it off and Joe Biden remains president elect, Joe Biden's got a lot of ignorant ideas and ignorant
Oh, I
statements.
agree.
I think what we've got to do is we've really got to start looking at this more. Um,
Oh, this morning, good old Trump sent out a tweet and said that he lost the election because, and then he retracted it. But his first tweet that he put out, basically he's acknowledging that he lost.
right.
So, um, you know, at the same time, we have to be very, very skeptical on. We don't want our election system to be shit. It already is shit because we're not allowed to be involved with it. We don't need any shittier than it already is. But at the same time, we don't need violence in the street between Trump supporters or Republicans, Democrats. We need to come more together and be more
Look,
accepting of
that
each
ship
other's views.
sailed. That ship truly sailed. Um, and it's been going on for a long time. So where did it start? I don't know. But when I see Joe Biden stand up there and talk about unity and things of that nature, and he's
I don't
that.
believe him.
Yeah, no, I don't believe him either because
I think it's
he
full of shit.
it's very political, and he was one of the ringleaders that would march around, say clown. He would talk about taking President Trump behind the shed and beating him up or whatever. He's a tough guy.
Come
Um,
on, man.
yeah, he was saying cool stuff like that. So in turn, when you're calling Trump supporters racist, Nazis, whatever you want to call them, and then you don't even have facts to back it up, it's just, well, Trump's a racist.
No, they find a picture of some white supremacist somewhere that has a blue lives blue thin blue line a Confederate flag and a Nazi flag, and they take that one person and they center it around saying that it's all Trump doing that. It's ridiculous. It's political bullshit that needs to be done. And like I said, we've said many times, our party needs to start planning for 2024. We need to start planning for different things. And we just can't be sitting here and doing nothing for the next 2 years other than running, our candidates, our lower level candidates, which I think is going to be good. I mean, the more exposure, the better for the Libertarian Party. But
Right?
like I said, I got a stash of people that want to run for office. I mean, in the state of Virginia. So I mean, it's not it's becoming more popular to be a libertarian. But like it says on here, you don't want to do herd immunity. I don't think that's a proper way of doing things either.
I
Um,
think I think that's a smarter route to go than going with the vaccine.
well, kill more people quicker. I mean, but then who
I
knows?
don't I don't trust vaccinations. There's too often, and I'm sorry that I know. Look, I've had vaccines, and I've done certain vaccines. It's not that I'm an anti-vaxxer, but the way that they're rushing it out, I reported on it. It's on the last video that I did. It talked about it's a two shot plan, and then your muscle becomes sore. It shows that you get worse off, and you might be out of school or out of work for weeks because of it. And so it's like, who the hell would really? You're selling me on a vaccine with a low percentage of death.
Yep.
So in turn, herd immunity would make more sense to me. When I was a kid, people would go around and get the chicken pox. I don't know if you ever had chicken pox,
Oh yeah, I did.
but like my brother got it and he gave it to me. It was just pretty much everyone was passing it off to one another, and there was no chicken pox vaccination. I understand chicken pox is dangerous, just like COVID, but it's so ass backwards, and I don't agree. But I definitely don't agree with Dr. Fauci and his independent spirit. Do what you're told.
No,
No,
I don't believe you should be telling us what to do with our own bodies.
no,
It's the choice of
absolutely.
the individual. It always is going to be the choice of the individual as a libertarian. I mean, that's just the way we are.
Well, yeah,
We may
absolutely.
choose not to get the vaccine, I may choose to get the vaccine. That's a choice that we both have to make.
But the problem is, what happens is the government starts mandating and making regulations that if I don't want to wear a mask, if I've got a health issue, I could that the store has to cannot allow me to come in without a mask on.
Yeah.
So in turn, now I can't go into the certain Walmart or whatever retail space. Well, guess where I'm going to go? I'm going to go to Amazon. Something stinks here. We're killing small businesses, but we're going to keep the big boys open. Amazon.
There was something that was shared that I really liked. It was on Facebook that I saw. It says, let's go back to phase 2, close down all the Walmarts and big box stores and let the small businesses have at it.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think I saw your thing there.
Yeah, I think small businesses are what's getting hurt the worst because of this.
They are. And we've got an idiot
governor
elect, and well, the governor is. I'm not impressed with him or his decisions.
King Northam.
Yes, King Northam and his black face, his Ku Klux Klan outfit. His racially charged. He wouldn't shake E.W. Jackson's hand. So and E.W. Jackson was a black pastor from the Virginia Beach area when he ran for lieutenant governor, and he tapped at the time. I guess it would have been Senator Northam on the shoulder, and then extended his hand. Northam would not look at him. He tapped him again. He still refused to tap him. So when the stuff came out with his yearbook and his nickname, when that all came out, was it a shock to anybody? And he's horrible. I mean, he makes bad decisions, and if people, I don't understand why people continuously run to government, because all that's going to be done is you're going to be brought to your knees.
It's a form of socialism in reality.
Well, I don't know if that's socialism, running to the government to be on your knees, but I think no. How?
Because the government's trying to make it. I mean, especially Democratic governor, it's going to try to make it more of a socialist thing where you accept the government for everything.
Governors, and because what happens is they make you rush to the to look if it's welfare, if it's food stamps, if it's whatever. Social Security is a socialist program. Public schools is socialism, and we can't even try to get kids out of. If you had children and you wanted to homeschool them, good luck. You can get them out, but you still got to pay for the socialism out there in the public school. That's why I believe highly in school choice.
And obviously, with my nieces, even though this COVID thing's going on, with my nieces and nephew and everything, they're getting homeschooled, and quite frankly, I'm happy they're being homeschooled. I wouldn't have said that probably a little while ago, but I see the first of all the exposure potential. That school wound up having a lot of problems and cases, but even without that, sometimes some kids are better in a classroom. Some people are better outside a classroom. My nieces are doing great in school. They're excelling heavily. It's odd. It's an odd thing to see that they're at home being schooled, but at the same time, they're still, they're still doing really good. And that goes with the broadband towers, and that goes with the whole thing I push. My political philosophy for when I'm running, but that's just interesting. And like you said, Governor Northam, he's made a lot of stupid decisions, but what are you gonna do? I mean, we have another year before we can knock him out. We have somebody going to run for lieutenant governor who's from Roanoke, that you know pretty well, who's actually just taking, believe it or not, he's just taking a small. He only wants to take small. It's weird for him to say that, but he only wants to take small individual donors. He don't want to take big companies' donors. We're talking about Mr. Razul, which is kind of surprising. I would think the way that
when he did that, he was running against nobody here in the city for his House of Delegates race.
I'm talking about doing it for his lieutenant governor.
Yeah, I know what he's trying to do, but look, when people, a lot of times these folks will do that, and like, I won't take big government or I won't take super PAC funds. Well, then what happens is it just gets funneled through other things and it gets to, you know, it's sad. But I mean, honestly, I don't know why anyone would ever say that they wouldn't accept super PAC money. I mean, if Rob Sarvis once talked, I remember when he was running and he was talking and he said that, the federal election laws that we've got now with when it comes to donations, he's like, if you had one individual that wanted to pretty much give him a lot of money to help him run throughout the state, it was against the law. And to me, I would rather an individual be able, look, if I saw that Dean Davison put um, X amount of dollars into a certain person's campaign, well, I would rather know that instead of you putting it into a super PAC and it's just money there put in, but it's all lost.
I mean, I can show that here shortly. When we're done with the Governor Northam thing, I pulled up VPAP, so I can show people on here, if you're in Virginia, how you can look where your funding is going
All
and who's
right.
funding your candidates.
Well, let's pull up this Governor Northam things real quick. And it just says, well, starting tonight, pretty much, Northam's limiting gatherings and add restrictions to curb the rise of COVID-19 cases. Let's see. Here we go. Lower the limit of public and private gatherings indoors and outdoors from 250 people to no more than 25 people. Workplaces and schools are not included. Lower the age of the mask mandate applied to children 5-year-olds or older. It had been up to 10. Grant more power to health and department to enforce mask and distancing requirements in essential retail business, including grocery stores, pharmacy, and filing misdemeanors for flagrant violations. And then last call of alcohols at 10 with a midnight closure for restaurants. Restriction of entertainment still at, let's see, movies is 30% occupancy of 250 people, which is less. Restricted number of spectators indoors. Let's see, 30% of venue or 25 spectators per field, which is less. So, the religious services of no more than 25 people are permitted if attendees follow, as long as the attendees follow the 6 feet apart and social distancing thing.
The one thing it doesn't say here, which is actually a part of this, is that if a location, okay, if a business does not follow their employees wearing their masks, they can face up the individuals there can face class 1 misdemeanor charges for failure to wearing a mask, which will come with fines.
Well, it had it up there that talking about they can give you more strict right here. The health department and right there by filing a misdemeanor charges for flagrant violations.
Yep, misdemeanor means you got criminal record if you don't wear a mask.
Yeah. So, but see, that's the problem that you have, because if someone comes in with a health issue and you're telling them that they've got to wear a mask, how does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Right.
It just doesn't. There's no point behind it. And like I said, I can show VPAP too, and people want to know where their money goes. I can show that all day long, twice on Sunday, because
Let's
with
pull it up.
VPAP, okay, this is my district. Let me go into other districts, but this was 2019. You see the money spent by my opponent because I had to drop out. But look what I can do. I can click on that. When I click on that, hold on a minute. It'll start telling me information that you want to know of who. Why this loads up. There we go. You can click on how many people paid more than 400 people less. So, more than $100. Look at this.
But I think, but to me, that's fair. I mean,
Healthcare businesses.
I don't,
At the hospital.
right. I don't mind that. I mean, look, let them that's how I would prefer to see it. Is it's listed like that, so you know who's making the donations. I don't care how much you donate. If someone came along and said, "I want to make a whole bunch of donations for $10,000," go for it. I don't care. The problems you're going to have to watch out for the.
Then you look at mine.
You can't lose your principles. That's the one thing I think most people fear. And then you'll get the money, you get the power. So what do? You're going to take it. You have it.
And I haven't spent a dime yet, but somebody's gonna figure out that Norfolk Southern, FanDuel, which is a gambling company, Branch Group, which is a big business.
FanDuel. Where's I see FanDuel there. Where's that located here in Virginia?
I'm not sure it is.
Huh.
I'll have to look that up, but no, location's New York.
Right. I wonder
He's
what.
pumping money in right now,
What
and I can just anybody.
I'd be
You go to
interested.
election results.
Oh, what
You,
about the? Did he vote on for the casino down in Danville or to
I
allow?
would have to look that up.
I wonder why, because that seems like an awkward thing at FanDuel. I mean, I don't think the government should be running gambling things anyway. I think the only thing that the government should be doing is making sure that the Caesars or Mohegan Sun, which I know that's in Connecticut.
What's interesting is it's gotten so good now with this site for Virginia that you can go and see how many. This is presidential election, so
What's
you can
the
go.
what's that website called?
This is vpap.org under election results. This is Virginia. What's it called? So you see um it gives you transparency with government. See, in a state we have 1.45% or 708 votes for Joe Jorgensen, and this is like Bedford County. So it shows you who I can look at this and say, okay, already had we had 20 here, so that's good, right? So that's one district that I want to hit. As somebody running, this is stuff that you want to see. I could do the same thing for another county. Let me back up and go to the city, and I can actually, I think, do this even for seizures information. Details go into there. It's an independent facility, and you can see where the red and the blue is in the city of Roanoke. Holland Road was a Trump area. Lincoln Terrace, Old Southwest. So you can go here and find out where your redder, where your best thing was done with Joe Jorgensen. And the more you get into where we were at, the better the votes, the better percentages we had.
Click on the local.
And I'm going to do that because I was going to just do that too. Let's see, Roanoke City Mayor, Roanoke City City Council. Let me go to Roanoke City. Hold on one second. Roanoke City. Council members. Caesar had 4.18%, 3,900 at the end.
Okay.
And here's your breakdown. You had 70 votes in Holland Road. You had 58 votes in Highland. You had 118 votes in all Old Southwest where I was working at, almost 6.5%. 73 in Raleigh Court.
How much did you get at Lincoln Terrace?
Let's go back up there. Highland, that's where he was at, which is kind of odd. He was at Highland and he had actually a lower total. Lincoln Terrace, he was not last place there. He was actually got 31 votes there, 3.25%, and he was better than Keller and McGuire.
Right.
So there's places that he was doing better, but then there's places that he did really good, like where I was working at, in Old Southwest. Look at that. Even though it was 118 votes, 6.56%. And then you had Raleigh Court, which is 3.97. That's where Eric was working. But you see the higher numbers, Grandin Court. Look at that. Almost 8%. That might be where he was working. I think that's where Eric was working, actually. It was Grandin Court, not Grandin. So 7.49%.
Right.
He did some really good numbers there. He did good in Carlisle, better than Preston. I mean, this is stuff you can look up. I don't think even Caesar knows that he beat people in certain areas. Um, which this is what you want to look at. You want to look at this local information because it's important to look at this local information if you're running a campaign. If you're going to run for stuff, you want to know which districts are better. Where do you want to take your time and money in and use it. You know,
Right.
you and me both know it's worked in with Derek. It worked with what's his name,
Dustin Evans.
Dustin Evans. You pick areas that are stronger. I can look, like I said, I was showing you Bedford County. I know which districts have higher libertarian numbers. Those are the districts you concentrate on heavier because
Right.
they're the places you're going to get them. You can possibly strike up more votes. I had a nice conversation. You can have conversations with a lot of people, different people. I've had a conversation with Derek, and it just we have so much potential in 2021 to make that change, and it's important that we do it because
Hmm.
we just need to stop. We can't keep sitting on the sidelines.
No.
A win can be getting close to the candidate. If you don't beat the candidate, if you've got the message across, the heavier the message, the more it'll proceed to go higher and higher. And as I said before, and this is state stuff, but I think we need to be concentrating on those lower level races, those city councils, those
Hmm.
board supervisors, and if you don't have, if a party does not, and it could be our party, it could be Green Party, it could be anybody, doesn't have someone to run for governor, they should be concentrating on those lower level things. And if you have more people in there, that's where you spend your money and your effort with volunteers. You take volunteers from throughout the state and you spread them out in the areas where you have people running for House of Delegates instead of
Right.
working on a governor candidate that may or may not be there, or you might have to twist their arm to do it. So it's one of those things. I'm not speaking as the secretary. I'm speaking as my own here. I'm not, like I said, I'm not speaking in any way for the LP. I'm speaking in my own 2 cents and my thought process behind it. I just don't. I think we would do better if we had, candidates that have, you know, people that are backing them. I have quite a few people, believe it or not, that are Republicans and that are actually going to back me and help me. Could that be good for people like Caesar or somebody like Derek who may need extra volunteers because I might gain some volunteers for my candidacy? Yeah. I mean, we could all work together. That's the point. I'm not far from Roanoke. I can jump over into the 11th. He can jump over into the 19th. We we can nail this to the ground. We can, like Seth Rollins says, burn it down. We could cause some problems around. And Caesar is at advantage, I think, because Razul's running for lieutenant governor, and his name's out there. People know who he is now, and he impressed me. I mean,
Caesar did very good, and I'm going to have him on here hopefully this week.
and I would love more. I mean, he's learning. He's in that stretch where I was an activist. Like we've talked before, you go from activist to an affiliate level to CD chair to where I'm at now, secretary. I might be, I'll probably run for state chair eventually again. But no, you start where you're at, and he's in that process where he's learning the libertarian message, but he's actually getting very much a hands-on experience on how it is,
Right.
how we bump up against the wall, and how to be resilient and keep going at it. And that's the one thing I can say about Caesar. He's very resilient, and
Oh,
he didn't
absolutely.
get disappointed by the numbers. To me, 3,900 people in Roanoke City voted for that man
That's very good.
with minimum money.
Right.
That's where you look at things. How much did you spend for that vote? And Caesar has the best per vote.
Oh,
Bottom line,
absolutely.
there's a lot you can do. I just want to show VPAP to people because if you want to know how corrupt your politician may be in your area, who funds them, AEP, Dominion, these people doing the pipelines, things like that. That's the site you want to look at because you can see exactly who takes what money.
Right.
I'm sure if I go into the 11th district, I probably can pull out some Planned Parenthood and stuff like that. I'm
Right.
pretty sure I'll find that.
All right. Well, Dean, we've hit that 30-minute mark. I guess pretty much what we really want to wrap up the day with is be yourself, be an individual. I've been saying it now for a while.
Personally responsible.
Right. Personally responsible. We've got to beat tribalism. Tribalism is horrible. So the only way we can beat tribalism is with individualism. So be your own person and, be respectful to everybody. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Dean, for coming on tonight.
Always.
I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
Please click the notification. Oh, absolutely. Please click the subscribe button. Click the notification bell.
Smash that.
That's right. Smash the like button and share the video. Follow us on Twitter. We are MaxLib. And until tomorrow, I'm Brian.
And I'm Dean.
And we will see you